Hey guys, it's Ivy, and today I'm here with a really quick Photoshop tutorial, just a little tip and trick about how to use the layer mask function for a depth map with lens blur. Now this gives a really beautiful bokeh effect, and it really can enhance your pictures really fast, and it's so easy to do. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do it. So on the screen right now are just a few visual references for what we're going to do. On the left is using a layer mask, kind of the old way I used to do it, where you just erase parts that you want less blurred. And on the right is using a depth mask, where it is actually enhancing the level of blur without having to manually do it, which is what I used to do and took forever. And it just looks so beautiful. Check out how all of the little light sparkles become these beautiful little bokeh hexagons or whatever they are, little geometry shapes. They look awesome. And you can even customize those too. Okay, so I have my unblurred image open here. And if you aren't sure what a layer mask is, it's a grayscale value range that usually Photoshop and other programs use to dictate transparency. However, in this case, we're going to use it to have the program dictate how much an effect is applied based on the value range. So what I want to do in this case is just have a blur around the edge of this picture. So I'm going to make a new layer and fill it with white. Now white is basically maximum blur. White is where it's going to show up the most, and as it gets darker, the blur will be less and less. So I'm going to create a dark gradient around where I think his face is. Now I accidentally messed up when I was recording this and I used a dark blue, but it really should have been black. But it's fine, it works for the tutorial. But now I'm going to set it to screen so we can kind of see what areas are going to be more blurred. Of course, the area that is lighter is going to have a blur effect, and I don't want as much on his face, so I'm going to darken it around those areas. I'm satisfied with where the blur should show up, so now I'm going to set that layer back to normal, and I'm going to make sure that it is on top of all my other layers. I'm going to go to channels and then hit this little button right down here, and that is going to select based on the value range. So all of the white should currently be selected. I'm going to hide that layer. Now on the layer that I want to blur, I'm going to hit this little create a layer mask button, and that's exactly what we want. Now the transparency mask is showing up, so I'm just going to copy and paste underneath it, just so you can see, but that's fine. That's exactly what we want. So I'm going to go here and we're going to go to filter, blur, lens blur, and it's going to pop up with this filter window with all the settings. So if you've ever wondered how I get these really pretty bokeh effects in these lights, this is how I do it with the specular highlights on the right panel here by increasing the brightness, changing up the threshold to change those settings. So currently the depth map is already on the layer mask source. That's exactly what we want, but as a default, it might be on none, and that's what it would look like if we did not have the layer mask applied. Now you can mess with these settings to intensify the blur, the glow, all that kind of stuff, and then hit apply. Once you're done, you just want to disable that layer mask so it stops hiding your picture. And you can see the before and after with the blur, so it's really just that easy. Just for funsies, I'm going to do a close-up zoom comparison. Here's what I have done to sort of demonstrate what it would be like if you did not use the layer mask depth mask function, and just sort of erase the parts that you didn't want as blurry. So you can see all these details where there's like a bokeh around like a very sharp dot. That's what we want to avoid, and that's what using a depth mask can do for you, because it's actually increasing the intensity, not the transparency. So you can see the comparison between the small bokeh like sparkles that got highlighted and how they get larger as they go out and blur more. So it just gives a more realistic effect, and it's so easy to do. I just wanted to share this little tip with you guys. Hope you guys learned something new. I am always trying to share my tips and tricks and hacks for Photoshop whenever I think to do something that I haven't seen done before. So, hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up if you do. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much.